What a piece of junk!
She'll make .5 past light speed. She may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid.
Hey guys, it's LegoMatic 9, and today I'm going to be doing a video on this custom LEGO Star Wars Millennium Falcon. Now this model is completely custom with about 3,000 pieces, so if you guys want to build this for yourself, I'll actually post a link in the description below to a mock pages post, which is by the guy who made the base for this model. His name is Dario. So he made the initial base for this Millennium Falcon. He posted it on mock pages with a bunch of pictures, an LDD file with instructions and a parts list and all this really nice stuff. So if you guys want to build this for yourself, be my guest. I'll post a link in the description to that. So after I built Dario's model, I went ahead and modified it. Now inspiration for those modifications go to a Reddit user by the name of Crisis X or something like that. He made a post a few months ago where he made Dario's Millennium Falcon and then modded it. So I saw that and that's what inspired me to start this entire project. So I'm going to give a big thanks to him if he even watches this video. So I'll post a link in the description below to Dario's mock pages post as well as to Crisis X's Reddit thread. So if you want to check those out, go ahead. Links will be in the description below. So this thing has been a big project of mine for a few months now. I've just been kind of not really telling all you guys about it until, my last video where I actually said that I built it, but I've been working on this for a while. Searching for parts has probably taken me about 30 hours, because most of this is like from my own collection. These are from sets that I've had, just ripped from my collection, and then I had to make two relatively big Bricklink orders to finish it off, so it didn't really cost me all that much, and I didn't really want to buy a new Millennium Falcon. So doing this was just a really fun project for me to do, and I'd recommend if you guys want to actually build something like this, then go ahead, check out those links in the description. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the close-ups of all the details in this model. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick 360 overview just so you guys can get a feel for all of the detail just packed into this thing and just how much of a better model this is than the actual Lego set. So I'll just start spinning around here. I apologize for my kind of a ghetto turntable system I got going on here. I don't really have a turntable, so I'm just using this, and moving this thing with my hands is a pain in the butt because it's kind of fragile picking it up. But so you guys can see all this really nice detail like packed into here. This engine part in the back is probably my favorite look of it. Let's see if I can get this thing over in the center here so you guys can just see all this detail just packed into the back here. I just really like the look of all of that. So there's that. Now I apologize, like you guys might be noticing like, oh, where's the blue? That's kind of a signature thing for the Millennium Falcon. Well, I'm thinking about doing this cool thing where I actually put lights back there so it can light up. So I'm thinking about doing that. Just don't know how expensive that is or how I would actually do that. So let me guys know if you think that'd be cool. So you guys can see all the detail on that side as well. All these really nice details added into the sides. And yeah, so there's a quick 360 view of the Millennium Falcon. So I'm just going to start going over just some of the little key elements and all these really nice details in a better view for you guys. So we're going to start off at the front here. So these are kind of like I don't really know what the correct terminology is, but I'm guessing they help stabilize the freight. Since the Millennium Falcon is a freighter, the luggage or whatever, just the giant containers that they carry, they actually like slide in right here. Now, obviously, they'd be much larger than this because the Millennium Falcon is basically just a giant tugboat in space. So like the freight would just like come in right here and it would lock in right here. So I can see if I can find a picture and put it up somewhere of just like what it actually looks like when it's hauling freight or whatever, so you guys get a better feel of what I'm trying to talk about here. But so that's what these things are. I'm guessing just some stabilizers or something like that for the freight that they're hauling. So just some really nice details in here. Now, Dario, when he made his actually was kind of short. Like these things were just a little short, so I just modified it a little bit so it was 3 studs longer, and so I think that made a pretty big difference. I definitely like how it looks now. So you guys can see all these really nice details, just the tiles and the grates and stuff. And then there's also some details like in those little holes, in these I guess they're like kind of like exhaust holes or whatever. I don't really know. And then you have the nice like details going along the side here. And if I spin it around this side, you guys can take a better look at this one. So pretty much same thing. You just got some holes in there. And then you got some nice details on the side there. So I think that looks pretty cool. And then while we're over here, I guess we'll just take a look at the cockpit. Now, this one is kind of a pain in the butt to take off compared to all of the other like Lego sets, because you could just pop this off with ease, but this one you kind of have to like shimmy off. So I'm just gonna pop that off like that. So it's kind of fragile getting that off there. And so this is where Han and Chewie sit. So, you know, not a lot of detail in there. So I might modify this so it has a little more detail, some more controls, things like that. And so I'm just going to take Han and Chewie and pop them on here. So let me get these guys. Alright, so here we got Han and Chewie. And we'll take them and just kind of slide them on there. They don't really like, doesn't really lock into position. So I'm actually going to cut this and put this back on there. Alright, so I got Han and Chewie in there, so now they're ready to go. So moving on to other details around the cockpit right here, we've got just some nice curves right here, kind of curves in like that, better than Lego's version where it just kind of like cuts off at a sharp angle. Then you have some nice curves going up there. Then you have some nice detailing on the sides right here. I don't really know what this is. It might be where the escape pod pops out or something like that, but I think that looks pretty cool. And yeah, so let's move on to the back. So I really like the way that the back looks on this model. I just think it looks so much better than just a translucent like blue tube that Lego puts in there. I just really love the look of these like grates or these grills or whatever that's in there. Now unfortunately it kind of loses that blue look that we all know when the Millennium Falcon's flying. It has that blue engine stream behind it. So I might try to fit some like life lights or something in there so it lights up. So I'll have to figure out how to do that, but that might be one of the modifications I do to this thing later. So you also see these really nice details up top, and you have these little fins or whatever. Not a lot of detail on the bottom there because you don't really see that. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. Definitely love the way the engines look. So above the engines you have these exhaust ports, which I try to detail as much as possible because the back of the Falcon is a little kind of ugly, not really as sleek as the rest of it. So these look pretty nice. I was going to try to get some of these like dishes that have the grate sticker on it, but I couldn't find all of mine that I had from like the 2004 Millennium Falcon set. I could only find 4. So it'd just be kind of weird to just have 4 of those and 2 that were just blank. So I might try to find those later, but you know, those look pretty cool. You have the really nice detail on the back here on these panels. Now some of you may be wondering, oh, can you actually open this thing up? Well, no. Unfortunately, you can't. You can open up some of them. Like I can take this one and you can lift this one up. So there is like a little interior in there, but it's nothing really. There's not a lot in there, so I might modify it a little bit to give it an actual interior, but it's just not worth showing you guys right now because it's kind of disappointing. It's, you know, just a control table. There's like the smuggling compartment, and then shoot, I think that might be it, and then just like a little tunnel, but that's about it. There's not a lot in there. So you guys can see all the really nice detail on the top there. Really liking those grills and stuff. Managed to find those from my old Millennium Falcon. So those look pretty nice. So up top we have the turret up here, so you can, you know, spin around 360 degrees, and then you can move up and down like that. So I'm really happy that I actually found this piece right here. You know, this giant dish. That's from the 2004 Millennium Falcon. I was super happy I found it because it has that nice sticker pattern on there and just blends with the set a lot better than just a blank dish would look. So I was worrying that I was going to have to modify this, but I found this piece and I was like, oh yeah. So I was super happy that I found this part. So over on this side of the Falcon, you guys can see this other little port thing. Not really sure if that's like an escape pod, like I said earlier, or maybe just some place for people to board it, or just some detail. I don't know. So if you guys actually know what that is, just let me know in the comments. Then you have some nice details up here. You have some nice details on this flap, on that little side piece right there. Then you also have the radar dish, which can spin around like that. Now, obviously, this is based off of the Millennium Falcon from the original trilogy, since it has the circular radar dish. So if I wanted to make a actual like Force Awakens style Millennium Falcon, I could just swap this out, make this more rectangular, and you know, take some cool photos or whatever with that. So then you have some nice details along all of these flaps. Looks pretty good. And then you have like this main part right here. So this is pretty nice. This thing can actually, yeah, it can kind of move a little bit, but just all these really nice cheese slopes going down here. This nice detail right there. Really liking the look of that. So yeah, that pretty much covers all of the big details on the top. So unlike the official Lego Millennium Falcon that's out right now, this thing does not like have a really good interior at the moment. and that's kind of because like it's not really that accessible. So you guys can see all of these flaps that open up, and there's only 5 flaps that open up out of all of them. So these ones are the only ones that actually open up. Some of them are just, locked in kind of a position where they can move like about that far, but then they just fall right back down because it's kind of like too hard to move them out of the way. So, these ones, they only open up just a little bit, and that kind of just hinders me from making an interior and showing you guys the actual interior in there, because it's a pain in the butt to get all of the panels off and show you guys the inside. So there's really nothing in there, just a control panel, whatever. If you guys actually want a look at it, you guys can just check out Dario's LDD file, or the links in the description. I'm sure there'll be one in there. It's just too much of a hassle to get all of these parts off. So there are a lot of details underneath the Falcon. One thing is the landing gear underneath here. So you do have this forward landing gear, which is kind of at an angle. They have, the nice slopes and stuff right there. So we're currently underneath the front of the Falcon here. Then you also have this other set of gear right here. So these ones can just be pegged out and stuff. You can also fold, like these little plates, you can fold those up once you take the landing gear out, so you can display it in flight mode, and it'll kind of create like a seamless closed off space. So moving on, you do have the turret back there, so that can spin 360 and move up and down just like the top one, but that one's kind of harder to get to since it's underneath the Falcon. So we'll zoom out a little bit, move towards the back here. So here we got the back landing gear, which are just longer than the front. So these are pretty good. Also some nice detail, like with all that sloping and stuff. Really liking the look at all that. And then we'll spin around to this part, which is my only gripe. So we're right here on the Falcon, and this part is my only gripe about this model, is because it doesn't have a functioning ramp that can go down, so you can't really take any cool photos of like Han and Chewie running on the Falcon or anything like that. You can't really have it in a proper like sitting idle mode with the ramp down. You can't really have anything like that. So that's going to be a modification I do to this after the video sometime. So I'll probably have a video with that's just revolving around modifications I do to this model later on. So that's going to be one of them, is a functioning ramp. So pretty much my only little gripe about this model. So let's go ahead and move on with this review. So now I just wanted to do some comparisons with the new custom Millennium Falcon. So here we got, my version of the Falcon right here, and then we have the Lego Millennium Falcon from like 2011 or something like that. So as you can tell, this one is a lot bigger than this one. This one is a lot more detailed than this one. But this one does have, those play features of being able to actually open it up, have an interior, stuff like that. But this one, I'm willing to throw all that in the garbage just to have a better looking Falcon like this. So I definitely like this one better. Hopefully you guys too, so let me know in the comments below which of these two Falcons you like better, because I really like this one, but I don't know about you guys, but this one I like a lot better. Here's another shot of the two Falcons side by side, just showing the back side of them. So this side you can see, it has the blue right here, which is pretty nice. But this one has those nice grates there, which I just think looks a lot better than just this. This just looks pretty plain, and then there's just a lot more detail on this one than this one. So here we have the Falcon side by side with the custom X-Wing I did a little while ago. So definitely looks like a great duo to have up on my shelf. It's going to be a great addition to my collection, and this is just going to look great up on my shelf. So just want to do a little size comparison, just show you guys how big this thing is compared to like a standard X-Wing. So that X-Wing is pretty much the size of any other Lego X-Wing. So just as a reference with this one's pretty big. So there you guys have it, a custom LEGO Star Wars Millennium Falcon. Now like I said earlier, please do check out the description. There you can find Dario's Mock Pages post, and you can look there to find more pictures of the Falcon. Then you can also find a LDD file, which will have full instructions for this model, so you guys can actually build this for yourself. And there'll also be like a parts list and stuff there, so you don't have to just like build it as you go. You can actually gather the parts. That's what I did before you actually build it. So definitely check out his Mock Pages post, as well as check out Crisis X's Reddit thread based on his Falcon, which looks pretty similar to this. that's where I drew inspiration from for the modifications, as well as for actually starting this project, so definitely check them out. So links will be in the description below. Now, like I said earlier, and I think in my last video I talked about making A New Hope figures, and I talked about having Han and Chewie in this video, a custom version of them. I just didn't get them done in time, so Han's pretty much done, Chewie's getting there, and then I'll have the other ones done sometime soon. So they'll just be all in a separate video for all 5 of them. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please do check out my Flickr, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, Facebook, all that good stuff will be linked to in the description below as well. Also, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, let me know what you guys think of this model, and I'll see you guys later.